Hi, and welcome to another episode of Stephen Helwig Talks Tech. Today I'm going to be unboxing and giving my first impressions of the GoPro Hero 9 Black. Now, I just picked this up today from Best Buy, and you might be asking, why am I getting a GoPro? Am I an extreme sports adventurer? And the answer to that is no. I will not be doing probably anything that you end up seeing in a GoPro commercial, like whitewater rafting or mountain biking down a steep hill or paragliding. I actually got it for a couple different use cases. The first and probably most important use case is I needed an extra camera for doing my YouTube recordings. Today I have a OnePlus 9, which is what I use and what you're seeing me being filmed by right now. I also have an old Pixel 3, Google Pixel 3, and I have a Sony Alpha 5100. And you would think that would be enough, and for the most part it is, but the Google Pixel 3 is really starting to be long in the tooth, and the picture quality just isn't quite as good as my current OnePlus 9. And the Sony Alpha is actually attached to above my monitors, and it's set up specifically to record through the computer. So every time I want to use it, I have to detach it, take it down, reset all of the settings, charge the battery, and it makes recording a really long process. And quite honestly, I don't have a lot of time to record, so I need something that's ready to go when I need to use it. So I've been looking at a bunch of different options. I thought about getting another Sony mirrorless camera, which are quite fantastic, but they're super expensive. And so I thought about, why not look at getting a GoPro? They're pretty versatile. They can be used to do any kind of recording, filming, pictures, webcam even. They actually have that feature now. So I started looking at the GoPro, and they have a Hero 9 and a Hero 10, which is the newer model. But doing some research, most of the things I need to do, I think, can be solved by the Hero 9. So I'm going to unbox it, look through what it comes with. I'll talk a little bit about some of the differences between the 9 and the 10 as I do that unboxing, and then I'll give you my first impressions of the device. Okay, we're here with the Hero 9 Black, and as you can see, it will do 20 megapixels. It'll shoot up to 5K and 30 frames per second, 4K into 60 frames per second. It can go 33 feet or 10 meters down in water and do 1080p live streaming. This is actually one of the first differences between this and the 10, is that the 10 can do 5K at 60 frames per second and 4K at 120 frames per second, and I think 1080p at 180 frames per second or something like that. So that is a big difference if you need, those additional frame rates. Not a big deal for what I'm doing. It also has something called Hyper Smooth 3.0 stabilization. There's actually an improvement on the 10 that's Hyper Smooth 4.0, and that comes because the 10 has a new chip, and it's, I think, the first chip advancement in the GoPro series since the GoPro 6. So there are some key differences. So if you're really getting this for action sports, you may want to spend the additional $150 bucks. This cost me $349 from Best Buy. They had a sale on it. I believe the 10 is close to $500 unless you do their subscription plan. On the side, you can see some more stats here. Talked about a couple of these. There's a voice control feature, 8x slow-mo, which is pretty cool, data overloads, a feature called time warp, which I'll have to dig into, 1080p live streaming, we talked about that, super photo plus HDR, RAW, I'm guessing that it'll take pictures in the RAW format or record in that format. There's a webcam mode, which I talked about. You can download some software from GoPro to turn this into a webcam, and it has a touchscreen, which is pretty neat as well. On the back, let's see here, it just shows the app that goes with it, and then on this side, it will show you what is included in the box. So we should find a GoPro. I think this is a battery. This looks like it might be some kind of handheld selfie stick, maybe a suction cup thing, charger, and a case. Now it says micro SD card required and sold separately, which I didn't know. Thankfully, the guy at Best Buy told me. He said that it doesn't have any storage, which I hope he was telling the truth when he told me that. But regardless, if you're recording video, even at 1080p, you're going to run out of whatever internal storage they would have on this thing. So I got 128 gigabyte SanDisk Extreme Plus. They actually had this on sale, I think, for like 20 bucks, which was really awesome. Amazing how cheap storage has gotten. So, all right, let's unbox it here. This has a nice little strip on the bottom that you can rip. So people will hate that I'm doing this, but I'm actually going to rip that open there. And let's take the case out of this little wrapper. Okay, move that off to the side. Okay, so it's pretty nice here. Has the GoPro logo on it. Nice case. Smells good. So let's go ahead and unzip that. And then open it up. Cool. All right, so when you open it up, at the top section here, there are a set of instructions. So you have the GoPro app. It tells you how to insert the battery and the SD card, how to charge it, and then how to turn it on and use it. It comes with some more instructions, like how to use this clip to, oh, okay, so this clip is maybe sliding into a helmet of some sort. Interesting. And then it has a set of GoPro stickers, which feel really nice. Those are really high quality stickers. Slide that back in. And then this looks like to be your product safety instruction manual. Slide that back in as well. Okay, coming to the main piece here, you have a USB-C charging cable. We have the battery. We'll take that out. You have this clip, which I'm assuming is the one that they were showing in that manual for the helmet. This looks like a suction cup type thing, or maybe it's another similar type clip. And then there's this little screw here. So I have to figure out what all these little pieces and parts do. And then you have the GoPro itself. So let's see if there's anything else in here. Okay, no. So this is just to keep everything in, and it's recyclable. So I guess you could just take this out and then put all of it back here. But I actually like how it all, you know, keeps everything nice and stable. So I might keep this in here. Okay. So let's take a look at the GoPro itself. Let's peel off this little outer layer here. It's really compact. I don't think I realized just how absolutely tiny this thing was. It is super small, which I guess makes sense, right? If the use cases that they have for the GoPro are for you to basically have it attached to your body half the time, then you're not going to want something big and bulky, but I think it's impressive just how tiny it is. So it has these little things that pop out here on the bottom, which I think this is their proprietary little mounting thing. We'll slide in between these. And then this screw, I assume, will go in here. Aha! Okay, so that's what that's for. Cool. Awesome. Yep. And then this would, I guess, clip into a helmet or some other apparatus. There is a accessories kit for this, which I actually have ordered, and I'll do a video on that when I get it. Okay, so in the box we have the GoPro itself, the charging cable, have the battery. We have a couple different clip options. And we have the pin or screw that holds it all together. Okay, so in order to open the battery compartment, this has kind of like a little tension. You gotta pull it down and it pops open. Slide that in there. Okay, we pull and snap it back in. There we go. And it gets pretty snug. Okay, cool. And in fact, then let's turn it on. Let's just turn it on first before we, oh, there we go. So yeah, you can see there's the ceiling. Okay, so this is the setup process. So we'll select English and agree to the terms of service. Tag your footage with location, speed, altitude, and more. We'll say on for now. And then here is where we need to install the Quik app on your phone to finish the setup. Leave your camera on and follow the instructions, okay? All right, well, I guess I'm gonna need my phone to do that, so I'll have to stop recording here and get that downloaded. Okay, so I have the GoPro app here. It's called Quik, and I'm gonna say, yes, I have a GoPro, and I'm gonna say pair my GoPro. We'll say connect camera, and while using this app, so it's searching for a camera. Okay, so it found my GoPro, Hero 9 Black, pretty cool. We'll click connect. All right, it's coming through here. It's pretty neat. It only has 16% battery, so definitely have to charge it soon. Okay, so after you've connected it, you've got it connected here, you can name it. Something about my name that doesn't like, so we'll say leave name. And it's connecting to the camera, searching for the device again. So apparently it disconnects, and we're going to connect to it. All right, connection successful. So it is ready. We can enable preview. We'll connect to your GoPro, Wi-Fi enable. Require you to confirm Wi-Fi connection. Okay, got it. Now my GoPro is telling me to insert the SD card when I click the button to record, so it can't do much. But that's pretty cool here. So as I move around my office, you can see it updating on the GoPro, and it's showing that error message, no SD card inserted. So it's a time warp feature. Well, this is standard, that was on time warp. And this is photo wide. And then you can do live burst, burst mode, night mode. Pretty neat. Then I guess you can set up a live stream, which is pretty cool, which I probably will not use, but maybe in the future. And then here is where you can also change the type of recording you want to do. So if you want to do standard, you can actually edit a lot of the settings in here. So you can edit the resolution, go all the way up to 5K. So it basically has some presets. So standard would be, in this case, 1080-60. And I actually may do 1080-30 for standard, because that's generally what I film in for my videos, and save that. And then you have a 2.7K 60 super view activity, which I would use maybe for filming my kids' sporting events. And then let's see here, there's a cinematic mode, which is in 4K, and then a slow-mo mode, which is pretty cool as well. So I love that. I love that it has some presets. I wonder if you can, maybe in settings, you can add additional presets as well. And then you have a time warp feature, which I'll have to do a little bit more research into the time warp. And then there's settings. You can turn on voice control, which I'm going to keep off. I have enough things that listen to me in my house. Match rear screen, front LED full screen. So you have front LED, or LCD, excuse me, here. So you see that mode. It's pretty cool. And I'm really excited about this feature because when I'm recording my YouTube videos specifically, a lot of times I can't see my phone because I'm using the rear camera. So it'll be neat to be able to do that. Landscape lock, GPS. So lots of great features in here. I'm not going to go through everything. It's way too much for what I'm doing. But if you need them, they're there. And then you can turn off the preview. And then I guess you can turn off the device. So I'm going to power off the GoPro. Let's try that out. Powering off. Really neat. Awesome. Cool. So neat little device. I'm going to put in the SD card and maybe do a couple quick recordings with it and see what it's like. So I want to take you on a full tour of the device itself. Number one thing is underneath here, where you see the battery, is also where you'll see the charging port and the micro SD slot. So I have the SD card in here. This little tab doesn't come out. I'm not really sure what it's for, but it stays in. And that's where you would charge it. And then there's a tension here to make sure this closes nice and tight. This is so it can go on water and there's no leakage. If we turn it over onto the other side, you'll see this is a power button, and it also does a mode switch. And then, as I showed you on the bottom, these will hook into the various mounts that it has. And then on the top is the button for taking a picture or starting a recording. On the back, you'll have the rear-facing screen. And then on the front, you'll have the lens and the front-facing screen, which you see it already has my fingerprints on it from playing around with it. So let's turn it on. Okay, so now that it's on, you can see that, like the mobile app, you have a lot of various features on the device. So most of the settings that you can control through the mobile app, you can control through the device as well. So the button on the side is a mode button in addition to a power button. So for instance, I can, let me go back and get that to horizontal here. You can change it between photo, time lapse, and video. And then within the settings, this is a touch screen, so I can adjust the various settings here. So the current capture for video I have set to 1080p, 30 frames a second, and instead of, let's do an edit here. Instead of it being a wide lens, I have it as a linear lens, hyper smooth is on, They have a feature called Hindsight, which I believe will record 30 seconds of video before you hit the capture button. And then you can do a schedule capture and duration for that capture. So if I go back here, I can also see the other types of settings that I can grab, and then I can add additional presets down below. Going back, here you can adjust some of the settings without necessarily going in and editing the presets. So I could adjust the zoom, or the speed actually. So this is normal speed, 30 frames per second. I could go all the way up to 8x slow-mo, or I could go to 24 frames per second. I'll keep it at 30. Here I can adjust the lens. So right now we have it in linear. We can move to wide, super view, back to linear, linear plus horizontal leveling, and then down here is a narrower view. Okay, I'm going to keep it in linear for now. And then here we could turn on hyper smooth, some kind of boost. I think it was hyper smooth boost. And then there's also a zoom functionality. So that's what's in video on the settings. And then as you hit mode, you'll get different settings based on what mode you're in. So if you're in photo, you have slightly different settings, but somewhat similar, right? So right now it's set to narrow. You can certainly set a timer up. There's settings for how the quality of the image you want to capture. So you can capture it in standard, raw format. I could capture it in HDR. And then I think this one up here is Super Photo, which is probably their proprietary format, I'm guessing. And then, of course, you have time-lapse features. So, and once again, different settings here as well. So at the top, you'll also see that it shows some information that I believe is about the SD card here, what mode you're in, and then your battery life. So that's pretty much it. On the front side, you'll see now that it's on, you get a little bit of a shot of what's filming through the lens, which is neat. Of course, the aspect ratio is slightly different here on the front, but at least it gives you an idea what's in the center of the lens. So neat little device. A lot of power is packed in here, obviously, and it is hefty. The Hero 10 is 5 grams lighter, I believe. So if weight is something that's super important to you, it might be worth the upgrade along with the other features. But for mostly what I'm doing, this camera is going to be mounted. So I had a chance to spend 3 weeks here with the Hero Black, and I gotta tell you, I really am loving this device. It's super versatile, nice and compact, and it has a lot of great features. I've used it for recording some YouTube videos. I've been doing a YouTube video on the Batman Lego tumbler, and I've been recording time-lapse of the build along with other over-the-head shots and different angles, and this has come in really handy for that. In addition, I've used it to record some sporting events at my kids' soccer games when they're playing soccer and just capture some of that. And then this past week, I actually went to a lake house and we used it for a bunch of different stuff. We had some accessories like a chest strap and a head strap, and we used it to record kayaking and jet skiing and actually swimming in the pool and playing basketball and playing ping pong, and even captured some thunderstorms and some lightning strikes with the slow-mo mode, and then some beautiful night lapse photo shots as well of the stars moving and shooting stars and things like that. And so I was just amazed by the versatility and the durability of the device through all that for the week. And probably the one con I would say is that the battery life is not great. You may get 2 hours out of it, but I bought like a little charger that you can slot 3 batteries in. It actually comes with 2 additional batteries, and so between the battery that came with the GoPro and those 2, I never felt like I was gonna run out of battery life, because I would just swap a new one in if I needed to. But overall, super great versatility with this. And as I look at what's out there right now, if you needed a webcam for a computer, this can be used. Or if you just needed another camera to do whatever, whether it's recording YouTube videos or recording your kids' sporting events, or action sports, if you're into that kind of thing, this is going to be probably your best option. I mean, it's really hard right now to find a really good camera. I just went to Best Buy this past week and look at Sony mirrorless cameras, and they're almost completely out of stock, and the folks don't know when they're going to get the next stock in, and you're going to spend quite a bit more for one than you will for a GoPro. Now, certainly they have their benefits as well, but for the types of things that I wanted to use this for, it's worked out absolutely perfectly. So if you're in the market for a new camera, I would consider the GoPro Hero 9 Black or the Hero 10 Black. There's some definite advantages to the Hero 10 that I mentioned at the top of the video, but you can get some pretty good deals on the Hero 9 right now, not only at Best Buy, but also at Costco. So highly recommend checking that out. Thanks again for joining me here on Stephen Hellwig Talks Tech. I hope you enjoyed that unboxing and review of the GoPro Hero 9 Black. As always, we appreciate every like and subscribe here on the channel, so go ahead and hit the like button, smash the subscribe, and also leave a comment below. We love to hear from you. I love to hear your thoughts. If you have a GoPro, tell me what you think. What do you use it for? Or if you're in the market for a new camera, let me know if you're thinking about getting a GoPro. All right, thanks. Bye.